I started this YouTube channel back in 2012. Back then, I did not have much fishing tackle to my name. Well, the year is now 2025, and I have amassed a lot more fishing tackle than I had back then. Now, I don't have the largest collection of fishing lures in the world, but I have well over 1,000 lures at my disposal at all times. And to tell you the truth, though, I only use a fraction of this stuff. In a lot of cases, having a bunch of fishing lures actually makes it more complicated to actually get out and fish effectively. You have so many options that it's actually easy to get overwhelmed. Now, don't kid yourself. I'm a nerd through and through, and I love this stuff. I can spend a significant amount of time just walking down the fishing aisles of sporting goods stores and just looking at all the different lures. So I'm not against owning fishing lures. As a matter of fact, I'm very blessed to have what I have. But when it comes to fishing, sometimes keeping it simple can be the most effective way to catch fish. And when it comes to keeping it simple while fishing, there's one technique that I find to be very simple, yet extremely effective. This also happens to be one of my favorite ways to catch fish. So what is this simple technique that is very effective and also happens to be one of my favorite ways to catch fish? It's this: a bobber, a hook, and a minnow. Just got picked up. Something pretty decent, looks like. Got one. All right. Not a northern pike. Nice little bronze back. All right, guys, first fish of the day. Nice little smallmouth right there. I honestly thought I had a bigger fish on. I thought I had maybe a northern pike for a second, but nope, just a little smallmouth. I've actually had a couple of these guys smacking my line this morning, and this guy finally committed and chomped the creek chub. Nice little guy. Like I said, this rig is very simple. First thing I have here is a bobber, obviously. Now this is a larger bobber just because I am fishing with creek chubs that tend to be a little bit bigger than your average minnow, so I like to use a bigger bobber. A couple inches down from the bobber, I have a simple split shot, and then I have a steel leader. I tend to use like a 5 or 6 inch steel leader, and I try to get away with the thinnest one that I can, just because having a small, thin steel leader, I feel like is a little bit more stealthy. Now, the reason why I'm using a steel leader is very simple. A lot of the creeks that I fish have a number of different species. They have smallmouth, but they also have northern pike. I like catching both, so having a steel leader ensures that when I catch a northern pike, those sharp teeth and sharp gill slits are not going to slice my line. Yep, there we go. Just got hit. Feels rather pike-like. Yeah, look at that bobber. My bobber's right here. Look at it. It's going, just cooking upstream. There's the bobber right there. You can see it. It's just cruising. All right, I think I'm gonna set the hook here. Got him. Yep. Not a bad one. Not a bad little guy. Not a huge one, but not a bad little bruiser. All right, guys, first northern pike of the day. Not a big one, but still such a beautiful fish. I love these fish so much. One of my favorites. So much fun to catch. This guy just grabbed that minnow and swam around with it for forever, but got a good hook set on him. Got him landed. Again, first northern pike of the day. It's pretty sick. And then, of course, down at the business end, we have a hook right here. This is a Gamakatsu hook right here. For about average size creek chubs, this size has been working really, really well. Again, that is the rig. Very, very simple. I'm fishing it on 30-pound test braid on my Cast King bait caster. I have that paired up with a Berkeley lightning rod. This is a 6.6 medium heavy. So a little bit of a shorter setup, and this setup has been fantastic because I was fishing a tiny little creek. It was very close quarters, most of the time just flipping my bobber out next to the cover, and there was quite a bit of logs and cover around, so having the braid and the stiffer rod helped yank those fish out. So I just caught that pike and I was getting ready to move to another spot. I'm literally packing up my gear, walking away, and I realize I don't have my phone, so I gotta try and find it. Oh, there. Okay, it's right here. All right, found it. I left it here on these rocks. I'm glad I remembered that I left that because because that could have been really unfortunate if I would have been, you know, a half hour down the road and then wondered where my phone was. Now, one of the downsides of fishing live bait is they can be a little bit of a hassle to haul around and to keep alive. And that's why I recommend investing in a nice minnow bucket. I got this one from Walmart right here. This is not sponsored. But yeah, it's a nice insulated minnow bucket. It's built pretty sturdy. And then I also recommend you get one of these. This is a little bubbler that actually straps onto the side. You put some batteries in that thing and it will help keep oxygen in the water. This setup right here is an absolute game changer. I am able to keep bait fresh and alive for pretty much a whole day of fishing. All right, so I just walked downstream a bit and I found this tiny little pool right here. It's not very big, but it looks like it has some depth. I'm gonna try and be real stealthy. I'm gonna sneak up and just flick a bait under this tree right here, let it drift down through. See if we can't catch something. I have a feeling there's probably something in here. That was so sick. That was so sick. That was out of this tiny little pool, guys. Nice smallmouth right there. Out of this tiny little pool right in front of me. I just stayed low, dropped my little bait in there, and bam, got one. Fun times. Now, one of the mistakes that I see a lot of people make when it comes to fishing with live bait with a bobber rig is that they tend to roll up to a spot, fire the bobber out, and then just camp out there for hours, letting the bobber just sit in one spot. Now, this technique can be effective if you know exactly what you're doing and you know where the fish are, but if you're actively searching for feeding fish, this technique doesn't work so well. One of the things that I like to do when I am fishing live bait is to cover water. I fish the bobber rig like I would fish a soft plastic for largemouth bass. I flip it up next to the cover, let it sit there, kind of work it a little bit, then reel it in and try another spot. I find that this technique of actively covering water with live bait is a fantastic way to catch fish, especially in pressured conditions. Out. Good again. Good. Got him. Lost my bobber. Shoot. Get out there. This little pool is loaded with smallmouth, guys. Look at that. I'm catching them at very close quarters too, which is so sick. I want to take a quick moment to thank the sponsor of this video, Cast King. Cast King sent me out their MGTI bait casting reel. I used it in my 24-hour fishing challenge, which was awesome, and I've been using it throughout the course of this video. I have to say, I really love this reel. It's got a nice low profile. It's extra lightweight as well, so it doesn't fatigue your wrist. And one of the cool things about this reel is that it has the world's first true titanium spool. This titanium spool has near zero inertia, which allows for longer, smoother casts. This reel also has a halo vortex braking system in it, which automatically adapts and helps eliminate backlashes. It's very well built. This reel is definitely going to be a staple for me in the years to come. If you guys are interested in picking up this reel for yourself, use the link in the video description and use my promo code right here, Brendan10, to get 10% off at checkout. Again, thank you so much to Cast King for sending this reel out. I've really enjoyed using it, and thanks to them for sponsoring the channel. Again, if you want to check this reel out, check out the link in the video description. Now, let's get back to the fishing. Now, one thing I want you to note while watching this video is that the creek that I am fishing throughout the course of this video gets a lot of fishing pressure. And as a general rule of thumb, using lures in this creek can be a little bit hit or miss. The water is fairly clear and the fish seem a little bit picky. And yet, a simple bobber rig and a live creek chub works wonders in this creek. As you can see, we've been catching a lot of fish. And that's one thing that I love about the bobber rig, is that it actually can be a very useful tool when you're fishing in scenarios where the fish are more pressured and they want the real deal. They want a live minnow dangling below a bobber. Yep, there we go. Got hit. Oh, oh yeah, that's a good one. Ooh, it's a good one. Let's go, dude. Another beautiful bronzeback, one of the better ones of the day right here. Whaled that minnow. Let's go, dude. Now, the main reason why I believe the bobber rig is so effective is because, number one, you're able to present live bait in front of fish. In my personal experience, I have found that live bait still is the best option when it comes to fishing in clear water for finicky fish. And the bobber rig is a very simple yet effective way to present that live bait. The second reason why I believe the bobber rig is so effective is it allows you to keep a bait in the strike zone for a long period of time. The bobber rig allows you to hover that bait right around some structure, but you can also mess with the actual depth, so you can hover a bait in a specific area of the water column. Most lures, generally speaking, move through the strike zone fairly fast. And if you do fish a bait that is slow, it tends to be down on the bottom. There's very few baits that can actually hover in the strike zone for a long period of time. And sometimes just hovering a bait around some structure for a couple minutes boom! Another beautiful bronzeback right there on the minnows. They are just munching and crunching these things. So there you go. In my opinion, the bobber rig is still one of the best ways to catch fish. There's something so exciting about watching a bobber slowly sink below the surface. It's addictive. Again, when it comes to fishing little creeks, rivers, or even lakes or ponds, live bait under a bobber is a fantastic way to go. It's a super simple way to fish, and it's also a great way to introduce people to the sport. My first fishing memories is with my dad catching a bass with a bobber, a hook, and a worm. Again, thank you so much for watching this video. Thanks again to Cast King for sponsoring, and I'll see you all next time. Later.